What's up, kiddos? Good morning. Brought Zuko out so he can run out in the open, but it's already too hot, and he keeps running back to the shade tree. So I'm gonna wrap this one up quick. Yeah, he's hot. So today's question in my book is if I had any pets growing up. What kind of pets did I have growing up? He's too hot. I'm gonna have to get this going, guys. I'll finish this one at the house. Ooh, that was a fail. Thought I was gonna work on my book out there with Zuko, but that boy overheated on me too fast. So, well, that's all right. I gotta get to the store anyways, run a couple errands. So let's get this book and get it on the road. We could work on this one on the road, guys. Let's go, kiddos. Let's get out of here. I gotta go to the store, but I forgot Nana has this phone holder on her dash and it's all melting, so I wanted to bring some alcohol pads to clean it up. So let's see if you can see it. Alright, I gotta clean this up right here. This looks disgusting, but this is how hot it is right now, and I wanted to get it while the sun's been beaming on it. But look at this. That's supposed to be super glue. Oh, let's leave that there. Oh boy. I tell you what, today has been a challenge working on this book. Thought I had it all planned out, taking Zuko out and setting up the tripod and that whole 9 yards, and he got hot and overheated, so I had to bring him home. Then I figured I'd take you guys along and go to the store with me, and the camera overheated and shut off, so it's still hot here. It's still hot, so back in the room, so I might as well finish it here. Where am I at? Hey, Ziggy, turn on my studio lights. Damn. Took my hat off somewhere. I lost it. Oh well. This is me. So the book question was, did I have any pets growing up? And yes, I did. I had dogs, had fish, and we had birds. The first dog that I remember having, his name was Killer. He was half husky, half Siberian husky, and half timber wolf or something like that. Really good looking dog. He looked like a wolf, but we had him for a while, and then we had another dog after I don't remember if he ran away or something, but then we had another dog named Butch, which was basically a mutt. I think my stepdad had found him somewhere and brought him home, and he was just one of them. He was one of them ranch mutts. But anyways, we had him, and he was a cool dog. But so I had the two dogs growing up, and it was pretty cool. I had to take care of them for a little while, until I got older and moved out. And then, but growing up too, we had fish. My mom had fish, and she had a big aquarium, and that was the thing back then. Is that if you had an aquarium, it was pretty cool to look at and set it up. So she had a big aquarium set up in the living room. Excuse me. And where the aquarium was actually right on the other side of the wall of my bedroom. And I went through a phase when I started DJing, so I had Excuse me. I had these big speakers in my room in the closet, and they were facing up, and just big subwoofers and all bass. Well, one day my parents were gone. Nana thought they were gone, and I cranked it. I cranked it up, and I was just jamming out. It's just that whole room was just vibrating. The windows were vibrating. The doors were shaking. It was cool. It was cool. I had that house rocking. I thought like a house party. I was just jamming out. And then I knew Nana was gonna come home soon, so I was like, I gotta go. I'm gonna turn everything off and get out of here. So I turned everything off, and as I walked past the aquarium, I looked, and I was like, all the fish that we had. We probably had like 9 fish at the time. Yeah, maybe about 9 fish. It was a variety of fish, so about 9 of them, and all 9 of them were floating. They were just floating in the air. I mean, in the air, they were just floating on top right there. Some of them were still in the bottom, but it was like one of them was hitting his head against a rock, just like going crazy. I guess the base killed him, so that's why they say don't tap on the glass. I guess so. I guess I wasn't just tapping on the glass. I was just boom, 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 boom. They don't fish. Poor fish. But anyway, so my mom came home. She knew what I did. She's like, ah, da, 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 da. She knew exactly what happened. Can't fool mama. So, and then we also had birds. We had 2 birds, cockatiels. They were, one was the first one we had was named Clancy, and he was a male, and he was cool. He used to whistle a lot and sing little tunes. And then shortly after, my mom felt bad for him because he was alone all the time, and so she says, I'm going to get him a partner. So she got a female bird, female cockatiel, just like him, put them together, and they fought sometimes. They fought a lot, and she didn't like him, and she was a mean bird. She didn't like anybody. And if you put your fingers up to the cage, she'd bite you to the point where she would poke you and draw blood. And that bird was mean. So poor Clancy, every once in a while, he had missing feathers on his head because she fucked him up. But that was it. We had the birds, we had the fish, and then we had the dogs. At one time, I had a turtle, but that was short lived because whatever season it is, the turtles bury themselves here. So our turtle buried himself, so I didn't see him. I thought, oh, he buried himself, so I'm not going to see him for the season. Well, like 2 days after I thought he buried himself, my neighbor came over, and she's like, hey, your turtle got ran over on the main street behind you. And I was like, how do you know it was how'd you know he got ran over? And she was like, because I did it. And I was like, oh, you know, he buried himself. So I went and looked to where he was burying, where I thought he was burying himself. And no, he actually dug under the fence. So he got out. He got out. And where I grew up, behind my fence, if I jump my fence, right on the other side is a main road. So there's a lot of traffic. So he got out, and she crushed him. And so she came over. That was cool that she told us, but she's like, hey, I think your turtle got ran over. She's like, because I did it. And like, well, then if you know you did it, whatever, whatever. So she killed my turtle. Funny story, real quick. One time, my cousin came over. We were out riding our bikes, and we came to our house, and I had to use the restroom. So in my house, my bedroom was right across the hall from the restroom. So I ran into the restroom, and I told her, just wait in the room. So he went into my room. And he was like, "Oh man," he was like, "Hey Aunt, when did you get that? When did you get that mouse?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? What mouse?" Yeah, you got a mouse right here on your curtains, on the top of your curtains. And I'm thinking, okay, whatever. I don't have a mouse. This dude's lying or something. So whatever. I finished the restroom, and I go in there, and sure enough, there was a mouse climbing on top of the curtains above the window. Well, I didn't have a mouse, so I was like, "Oh shit, where'd that mouse come from?" Well, we caught it. We caught it, and we ended up killing it and getting rid of it. So I told my mom when she got home. I was scared to tell her though. Honestly, I was scared to tell my mom because I used to have like these things. I used to always have my soda cups or my sausage wrappers or whatever. If I had candy wrappers, just a typical boy. I had all my garbage up there on the dresser and on my nightstand. And my mom used to tell me, you're gonna get roaches or you're gonna get rats. Watch, one of these days you're gonna get rats or roaches or and ants. And she used to tell me I'm gonna get everything in that room because of my drinks and food. And which, I mean, obviously she was right, because I got home and there was a mouse in my room and I was like, what the hell? So I was scared to tell her. I was scared, but I had to. So I told her, I said, Mom, today we got home and my cousin name was Emmy. I said, Emmy looked up and there was a mouse on my curtain. She's like, are you serious? So she heard my stepdad went into the room and started checking around, and they went to my window because growing up, we didn't have AC. We only had swamp coolers. So we would leave our windows cracked a little bit to circulate the fresh air. Well, outside of our window, outside of my window, we had these vines that they're called cat claws, and these cat claws climb on pillars and on the house. So they attach to the house and these vines grow up. So it actually made a shade over my window. So having my window cracked was fine because you couldn't see anyways, because it was all covered with the vines. There was still enough air getting through, but it was covered, so you really couldn't see through it. Well, at the bottom of my window is where all the vines were growing from, so it was real thick. Well, I guess the mouse was under there, living under there, got up and chewed his way through my screen and then got into my room. So, but my mom still blamed me. She's like, that's because my mom still blamed me. She's like, that's because you have all that food in there and I could smell it. That's why it ate through to get into the house. Anyways, that was about it. A couple dogs, some fish, dead fish, a couple birds. I wanted a ferret when I was young, but my mom said no, no way, no how. I almost had a pet rat. We had show and tell one time at school when I was in elementary school, and another kid showed up with his pet rat, and it was cool. So I was like, oh, I want it. So he told me, yeah, you could have it because we have a bunch of them. So I was like, all right, cool. So I actually took it home. I took it home with me, and I don't remember how old I was. I was maybe 9 or 10 years old. So I took it home with me, and my mom said, nope, no way, no how. 'Cause it was big. It was pretty big. And so she told me I had to take it back the next day. She's like, you're taking it back to them. I don't care what they say. So I was like, okay. So I was playing with it that night, and then I had put it, the fish I killed, we still had the aquarium. It was just empty now. So I put it in that aquarium in my room for the night, and I put grass in there, and I think I don't remember what I tried to feed it, but it was in there all night. Well, then in the middle of the night or right before bed, I went in there to try to play with it, and he snapped at me like he was gonna bite me. So it scared me. That rat scared me. So I was like, okay, yeah, you going back. I don't want nothing to do with you. I want nothing to do with you. So I was all right, I'm taking it back. So my mom's like, don't you forget to take it. I was like, I am taking it back. I told her, go try to bite me. She's like, I told you. So mom's always right, I guess. But that was it for pets. And again, that's gonna do it, because I got a lot to go on this book and a lot of bases to touch. And if I keep talking, I'm just going to end up spilling the beans and skipping pages. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to get going. Bought an air freshener for my truck. When I first bought our truck, I bought one of these air fresheners kind of by accident. I just wanted to check it out, and it turned out pretty good. Turned out pretty good. I don't know why the screen just got dark all of a sudden. I don't know, but that's gonna do it for me, guys. I got stuff to do. That's my pet story. That's my pets as a child. I'm out.